What's up? It's your boy, I know Marcy, the Mad Hatter here at a new location. This is actually my parents' house. I recently had to move from my sister's house because it burned down. Everything's fine. Everyone's okay. No one died or anything like that. But I am going to be staying here for hopefully not too long. Uh, if I if I do make any new videos, this is where it's going to be. Little bit of an explanation for my absence. One of the things that really sucks about moving back into my mom's old place is the fact that internet that I can't really get on the internet with any kind of real regularity. So I haven't really been staying up on too much stuff online. I haven't really had much to talk about, except um, for right now. Comic Con has just recently passed. I don't know the exact day, since again, I haven't been online for a while and I don't actually remember when Comic Con actually is, but they did release three trailers that I actually do want to talk about, and since I couldn't talk about them when they actually released, I'm just gonna go at them all three at once. Starting with the first one, I'm probably the most excited about Wonder Woman, the first real Wonder Woman trailer. You know, besides the DC thing the CW had a couple months ago. Um, so about this trailer, well, it starts out pretty much like the Little Mermaid. Steve Trevor washes up on Themyscira, and Diana is there, and she finds him, and it's like, holy shit, it's a man, and that whole thing. I'm not sure about Themyscira. We only see like one part of it, which I'm assuming is some sort of council chamber, maybe an amphitheater or something like that. It's just one little piece, but I really like to see I really like to see at some point all of Themyscira, maybe the movie starts out like, hopefully the movie just doesn't start with Steve Trevor washing up on Themyscira. It actually stays with Diana for a little bit and shows her sort of daily life on Themyscira, and how her life is before Steve comes in and not exactly fucks everything up, but her hero's journey starts. We've known for a while that that it's a period piece that is taking place in World War One, and I'm still not 100% sure on it being a period piece, but from what I've seen, it does look okay. Like, you can't really complain about it all that much, and I think um, and I am starting to warm up more to Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. Um, she didn't really impress me that much in Batman vs Superman, but from what I've seen in her from what I've seen here, she actually does seem like a really good act. She does seem like a good actress. She does decent in the parts. Physically, she's great. Unless those are body doubles, which they probably were. But I'll get to the points later. Um, so Steve Trevor comes with Themyscira. I'm assuming they have the whole contest of Amazon's thing, the whole bullets and bracelets thing, where they decide who gets to take Steve Trevor um, back to America, or back to man's world, and like, I really want that scene to be, I want that scene to be in there, like compressed, obviously, so it isn't too long, but at least have something there that shows like right off the bat, that Wonder Woman is like this really amazing fighter. She is the best of the Amazons and everything like that. And we see a little bit of World War One, and Wonder Woman's involvement in it. We see her in her armor, which is honestly it for some. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's the lighting, but it looks a lot better in this than it did in Batman vs Superman. For one thing, you can actually tell it has fucking color, which is a big thing. Um, and just the action scenes that we see so far are really great. Her fighting off a bunch of well, they're not Nazis because Nazis didn't come in until World War II. Just German soldiers, I guess. Just fighting off a bunch of German soldiers and staring down staring down a hail of gunfire and just holding off a bunch of gunfire with their shield and just kicking all kinds of ass. It's so cool um I think and there were a few scenes of her in a village, and I have to think that there are a few. I want there to be a few scenes of her being really caring. Like after she pushes the German soldiers out, there are a few scenes of her like giving soup to orphans or something like that. Like helping these people rebuild their homes. Just show she isn't just a warrior; she is a peacekeeper, and she's an ambassador, and she's very kind and loving, and I think that's something. I worry that's not going to come off in this movie. Wonder Woman is love. She is the most loving. During Blackest Night, it said that she was the most loving person on the planet. She's the spirit of truth and compassion and all that, and love and truth and compassion don't preclude violence. You can fight to your greatest extent. You can be absolutely ruthless in an actual fight. But once you're out of the fight, once you're out of the fight, that's when the compassion and the caring and all that stuff come into play. And I really hope that the movie accurately portrays the two sides of Wonder Woman like that. She kicks all kinds of ass, but she can take care of, but she can like listen to you and help you with your problems, bandage you up, all that kind of stuff. Um, and and I have to imagine that it is going to be very heavily influenced by the Brian Azzarello run on the New 52 Wonder Woman, and I don't know if I've mentioned it here. Like I think I might have mentioned it during one of my Batman versus Superman vlogs, but I didn't like the Brian Azzarello run. Um, but I think I should get into more detail on why I didn't like it. It wasn't Diana herself. I actually thought that the book itself was well written, and Wonder Woman was characterized well. A little violent for my taste, but I thought her as a character worked. My problem came mostly because of, well, two things mainly. It seemed like the storyline that was being told in her story seemed uh, too far disconnected from the rest of the DC universe. But also, the main reason why I hated it was Azzarello seemed to have something against the Amazons. Like he made them distrustful of Diana. He made them murderers and rapists. He killed them all essentially. He brought them all back except Hippolyta, but like it really seemed like he didn't want to include the Amazons in his story for some reason, and he made them just terrible fucking people. And that's the main reason why I hated that book. Um, the writing itself and Diana's characterization I actually genuinely liked. There were a lot of. I only ever read the first volume. After that, I actually boycotted the book after reading the first volume. But there were a lot of really good scenes in the book that I genuinely liked. But I just I just couldn't get past what he did to the Amazon. But oh, and Diana being Zeus's daughter, like it bugged me for a while, but I mean, if they go with that, I can live with it. I still think it's stupid and horribly derivative and completely uncreative, but you know what? Whatever. I mean, if they go with it, they go with it. I can't. What am I going to complain about? But well, they do mention that in actually kind of a funny scene on the boat from Themyscira. Um, uh, Steve asked Diana about her father, and obviously she didn't have a father. She said that Zeus was brought to life by Zeus, and he just, oh, Okay. How do you respond to something like that? I don't have a father, but Zeus brought me to life. Uh, how do you? Okay, God brought you to life. That. Hmm. Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. Okay. Well, you're part of an immortal. Well, you're part of a race of immortal warrior women who live on a secluded island no one knows about. I really don't have a choice but to believe you. So, like, how would you react to something like that? But she just said that Zeus brought her to life, which um, is how she's brought to life from clay in some versions of the story. So whatever. Uh, I honestly, I am excited about the Wonder Woman movie because it does look cool and it does look interesting, and Etta Candy seems fun. I'm gonna like Etta. I have a feeling. She's British now, which okay. She doesn't show up until the end of the trailer, and Steve introduces her as his secretary, and Diana asks, "What's a secretary?" And she's, "Oh I do everything he says and get whatever he wants and write it in, do all that thing." And Diana just says, "Well, where I come from, that's a slave." And yeah, I'm gonna like you. Like, where I come from, that's a fucking slave. And that is, well, I'm gonna like you. It's I like that they're actually gonna have Etta in, like they're introducing Etta in as a friend of Diana's. Um, in the 2009 animated Wonder Woman movie, I think the one thing I didn't like about it was the fact that Etta Candy only showed up for one scene, and Diana made fun of her, and then she was just gone. Like I like the idea that Etta's actually going to be at least somewhat part of the story, and she's going to be Diana's friend, like in the original comic. So, like, that's great. One, um, the other big trailer was Justice League, the full Justice League movie. Um, so I'm I'm not against it as I was Batman versus Superman. Like the more I'm seeing of the DC of the DC cinematic universe. Well, I've heard some good things about Suicide Squad. Um, so I haven't seen it yet. Really don't plan to. Uh, Suicide Squad might be good. I don't really know, but from what I've seen so far, Suicide Squad is doing okay. Wonder Woman looks pretty good. Um, and this Justice League trailer, this actually does look pretty good. And I'll get to that in a second. But I actually am kind of hoping that Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman were just flukes. Like they were almost solely because of the writer director team. Like Zack Schneider is a good director if he's adapting something. Like 300. Did he do Sin City? I honestly can't remember. I don't think he did Sin City, but fuck. No, Watchmen. That was it. 300 and Watchmen. Those are both really great movies, but they were adaptations of comic books. Like literally, the story it's storyboarded out for the director. Like he really didn't have to do all that much. I mean, he needed a he needed a screenwriter to translate it into movie format, but like he didn't actually have to do all that much. Like the scenes were already shot in the comics, so. And Sucker Punch is a really good example of what he can do when he's just working off of nothing. Sucker Punch wasn't an awful movie, it just wasn't a very good one. And like, I think that was the problem. I think people saw that he did a great job on 300 and Watchmen, and they thought, okay, so we're remaking Superman. We got to get the guy who did Watchmen and 300 and did such a great job with them, except without a good team backing him up. Well, I don't want to say that because he had Christopher Nolan and David Goyer backing him up, but I don't know, something about the three of them working together somehow just ended up with just ended in shit. So okay, so obviously we have a new director for Wonder Woman, and we do have a new director for Justice League, and that's probably for the best. Like I actually heard that that after Batman vs Superman bombed, Snyder was fired from Justice League, which is probably the best he could have. Which is probably the best they is the best for them. Like, well, I don't know if it's directly because Batman vs Superman was terrible, or like they decided to go with another director before it was even released, but whatever. New director, and it really does feel like it has a completely different feel from both Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel. It is clear it is being done by someone completely different because I actually like this. Um, it showed Batman after Superman's funeral, even though we all know he's not going, even though we all know he's not going to stay dead. And in fact, he's probably going to come back in this movie. Um, but we see Batman and Wonder Woman, and they're following up on that really pointless. Like, okay, I can't say pointless because it's pivotal to this movie, but it was pointless in the context of Batman versus Superman. The scene where Wonder Woman looks up information on Cyborg and Aquaman and Flash. Yeah, Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash. Um, I don't know why they only went with them. Like I kind of get them not bringing in Green Lantern since the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie didn't do that well, even though I kind of liked it. But you could have rounded it out a little bit. Added in Martian Manhunter or something like that, or something. Hawk Girl. Get another woman in there, for fuck's sake. Black Canary. She would have been cool. I don't know, but actually no, seriously, Black Canary would have been cool in this. Like she has the fighting skills of Batman, but she also has a superpower. But she doesn't use it that often. But it's really strong. But fuck it. So Bruce Wayne is traveling around looking for people to recruit. He finds Aquaman helping out this small fishing town, the small fishing village somewhere. It might be Alaska. It probably isn't. I have a feeling I think it's in another country, but I'm not completely sure. But he goes in. He hears it. Like he hears a story of this dude who comes up from the ocean and then gives the village people fish and helps protect them from shit. And boom, Jason Momoa Bruce is talking to Aquaman, and Aquaman gets pissed off and threatens him, and yeah, that doesn't work out. Well, I mean, he's gonna come back eventually and gonna join the Justice League and stuff, but that's the first scene. Bruce failing miserably to recruit Aquaman, and he goes back to Diana, and he's like, "We need to expand our ranks." And like, so did we get him? I didn't get him. No, it's like you didn't get him, did you? No, I didn't get him. No, I it's like the biggest complaints about Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman is that it wasn't lighthearted enough. Like there weren't enough light moments, people joking around, having fun and stuff like that. And that honestly was a really big problem with both movies. Like you don't have to be like completely jokey or anything like that. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was. Just um people fucking around for like an hour and a half. You need some levity in between all of the grim dark, and actually having that, that's great. Um, yeah, you get a couple of shots of Cyborg, before he's Cyborg or before I don't know. He looks normal, but then later when they're all suited up, he looks like he usually does with the metal over his face. He actually does look good as Cyborg. I will say that. Like he looks great. I don't know what they did. Like hopefully it's mostly practical effects. Like I would really appreciate if Cyborg was made mostly with practical effects. Yeah, you never know with that, but I had imagined some of it as CG, but I'd like to think they did the Iron Man route and actually built a suit for the dude playing Cyborg. I don't remember his name. But then he goes to see Barry Allen, who's considerably younger um, in this movie than he is on the Flash TV show, and I like Flash in the TV. I like the Flash they have in the TV show, but I can dig this kid too. Uh, yeah, he. I want to say he lives in a basement. I want to say he lives in a basement because he goes into his room, flicks a light, and then a shitload of monitors pop up, and Bruce is just sitting in his chair, cool like he is, and he turns around and is like, I'm Bruce Wayne, and Barry's like, that doesn't explain why you snuck into my room and is sitting in my chair. Like, and then they talk for a little bit, and Bruce gives his pitch, and even before he finishes, like, I'm in. Like, he's just really well. Well, no, okay. Before that, he throws a batarang at Barry, and then he just moves out the way. So, like, he just casually moves out the way because he's a Flash. It's moving really slow. He could have like, I think he catches it and just hands it back to him. It's like, yeah, you're fast. Yeah, yeah, fuck. Like you can see in his head that he's going, fuck. Like through the entire thing, when time is slowing down and he's just looking at the batter and going, you know, and he and then he gives it back, and then it's like he just says, "Yeah, I'm in. I don't have many friends." He joins the Justice League because he doesn't have any friends. I'm not sure what to think about this version of Barry, but it could either be really cute and endearing or really fucking annoying. I'm like, you gotta see more to really know more, but um, and then they show a few more scenes, them all in costume, and Bruce mentions something coming that he was warned about, and it's obviously Doomsday. It's obviously Darkseid, or if it isn't Darkseid specifically, it's some sort of apocalyptic threat. Like I mean, it's obviously Darkseid, and I think this is another problem with the DC cinematic universe. They're throwing too many of its big guns out. Like in Batman vs Superman, they have the final fight with Doomsday, and Superman dies. Spoilers: Superman dies. Um, and well, yeah, I should have probably warned you about that. Spoiler: Superman dies. Sorry, whatever. Fuck it. Who cares? Um, and that pissed a lot of people off because then you just did the death of Superman. Like, one of the one of the most historic comic book storylines ever made, and you do it in the second movie. And we're on I mean, technically it's like the fifth movie, but well, you know what I mean. Like the second big movie in this universe. Well, I guess Wonder Woman will be the second big movie in this universe. I mean, let's face it. Does anyone actually care about Suicide Squad all that much? They have a fair following, but I mean, come on. Compared to, they are literally the Guardians of the Galaxy to the Avengers. They are the Guardians of the Galaxy to the Avengers of this universe. Yeah, they're fun, but do you really care about them all that? But do you really care about them all that much? Um, but the second, like the third biggest, like the third big movie in this universe, and you're introducing Darkseid already. Like the first Avengers movie had them fighting Loki, and yeah, he's a major villain and certainly a Avengers level villain, or he can be when he gets his shit together. But you know, they pace themselves. Like the big climax, basically the big climax of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at least as far as I can tell, is the Infinity War. Like they're building up to Thanos. Like like the Marvel Cinematic Universe started in 2008. It's 2016, and Thanos is still just the man behind the curtain. Like we aren't even close to him becoming a major force in the universe yet. And yet, Man of Steel came out in 2011. Wait, no, was it 2011 or 2013? I can't remember. Fuck it. Man of Steel didn't come out that long ago, and already we have Darkseid. I'm just saying. But honestly, I can't say this looks bad. It looks like something. It looks entertaining at least. It didn't piss me off at all. I can see myself enjoying this, maybe. So, you know, um, yeah, that was Justice League. And the last trailer I wanted to talk about was the second trailer for Doctor Strange. Um, Actually, I don't really have that much to talk about the second Doctor Strange trailer. We got to see more of it. Like, yeah, this looks cool. Benedict Cumberbatch still looks cool as Doctor Strange. I still think Tilda Swinton looks great as the Ancient One, and I think that can still work. And of course, the fact that an originally Tibetan character is being played by a Welsh woman. That's bringing in some controversy. I don't really care. Like I know Tilda Swinton's a good actress, and I can buy her being a character called the Ancient One. Would you see more? Would you see more of the sort of world of Doctor Strange? All the different magic and the different realities, and how reality is sort of being bent and manipulated by these wizards and stuff like that. And we see the villain. I think it's Baron Mordo. I'm not sure because I don't actually know that much about Doctor Strange as a character. Um, Mostly I just pretty much the only exposure to Doctor Strange I ever usually get is in other hero stories. Like if he's making some sort of cameo or guest appearance, I'll pick up bits and pieces of his story and what he's about from the brief interaction with other characters. So like I don't know the full extent of his powers. I don't know much about his rogues gallery other than Baron Mordo and Dormammu. I don't know much about his supporting cast or anything like that. But this movie looks damn cool. It looks so damn cool. Like it's Inception plus The Matrix times 5. Like it looks so mind-bendingly cool. It's awesome, and we do get to see Doctor Strange in his usual costume, fighting things and doing shit. And like I said, Benedict Cumberbatch looks awesome as Doctor Strange. And yeah, like they did kind of have a funny joke about a dude. I don't know who he is. I'm sorry, I don't know who it was. But a dude gives him a dude gives him a slip of paper and it has a word on it, and he's like, "What is this?" And Doctor Strange's like, "Is this a mantra?" No, it's a Wi-Fi password. We're not barbarians. Like, that's a funny line. It's a funny line. Um, and yeah, Doctor Strange. Not a hero I usually follow, but it is a movie I am really looking forward to. And that's about it. That's all I really got to say right now. I'm not sure when I'm not sure when I'm gonna be able to upload anything else. Hopefully, I can stay a little bit more informed and I can get back to you guys and make more videos. But until then, my no mercy. I'll see y'all later.